Last formal meeting was more than a year ago. Today, 7.9% unemployment in America. Gretchen Hamel, Executive Director of Public Notice. Alan Combs, host of the Alan Combs Radio Show. What's going on, you two? I guess mission accomplished, huh, Gretchen?
Yeah, it seems like mission accomplished.
What are you going to tackle next?
Well, you know, it's just kind of funny. Here the president is closing down his jobs council. He didn't really listen to a lot of the recommendations it made. He did the same thing with the deficit commission that he created with Erskine Bowles a few years back. It seems like the president's paying a lot of lip service to the American public about their top concerns and the top concerns of this country, and not having a lot of action or substantive action to actually bring about real solutions.
Well, here are the facts that we know, Alan. In 24 months, they met 4 times.
Correct. Well, I also met the president met with them 4 times. There are other meetings where the president did not attend. And by the way, they've enacted 16 of 35 proposals, and it was only a 2-year charter. I just wonder, were Republicans praiseworthy when he formed the council, or were they saying, we don't need a council, that's not going to create jobs?
Gotcha.
And now all of a sudden, they're upset that he's ending the council. They never supported it in the first place.
Implemented 16 of the recommendations. Can you name one?
I don't have the list of them here, but all the reports that come out and say that's what he did.
Can you name one that worked?
I don't have the list of them, Bill, but the fact is the cynicism you seem to express as though simply having a job council that's what creates jobs. His record's pretty good. He's created manufacturing jobs, 4.5 million private sector jobs, and look what he inherited, 750,000 jobs being lost, and now every month we're adding, including the figures that just came out today. So what's the Republican plan? I'd like to know what the Republican plan is.
Yeah, Gretchen, what is the Republican plan?
You know, the Republicans have offered a lot of solutions. You know, a number of the solutions that are keeping businesses from creating jobs, a number of regulations, a number of things to increase trade, and also some of the things that the government's getting in the way of with businesses. I mean, let's talk about health care and the number of stories we've seen in the press about small businesses having to struggle with the health care implementations. But let's take a bigger look. You had reports this week. You had negative growth in our economy for the first time in over 3 years. Consumer confidence dropped to its lowest point in over a year. And here you have a jobs report where it ticks up to 7.9% when the president's own economic team promised us that with the stimulus and more government spending that we would be at 5% unemployment right now.
The target seems right in the following way. It's almost like you outsource this job. And when people look at it, I mean, this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics now. The unemployment rate, 7.9%, has been at or near that level since September 2012. Teenagers in America, unemployment rate, you know what it is? 23.4%. African Americans, 13.8%. Hispanics, 9.7%. All 3 categories show little or no change based on this report.
You can't ignore the fact that, again, it goes back to what he inherited. We were bleeding jobs. That's been turned around, and apparently the American people who voted him back into office seem to feel enough confidence that this was the right direction for the country. And I don't know what the Republican idea is other than to reject everything the president offered. They turned down every jobs bill he put forward.
Here is what John Boehner said, his spokesman anyway, in part. When ignoring the group, Jobs Council, or rejecting its recommendations, the president treated his Jobs Council as more of a nuisance vehicle to spur job creation.
I'm shocked to hear that John Boehner was critical of the president.
Gretchen, Alan keeps coming back with your ideas. Now, Republicans don't have the votes.
The Republicans don't have the votes. Republicans have been putting forth the plan.
How do you win this debate, or you just say, you know what, look at the raw numbers?
Well, you have to have a willing partner across the table, and Republicans right now don't have that with the Senate, and they don't have that with the president.
The president has a willing partner?
I think Republicans have shown numerous times that they've come to the table time and time again through debates and through when it came to the debt crisis, when it came to a number of these, negotiating. But you have to have faith and trust in your partner, and you have to have someone who's offering up real solutions. Instead, the president seems to be putting this on other people. The problem is, Alan, is that you're accepting this as the new normal, and you're okay with that. And you think the American public is
okay with that. I'm not okay with it. I just like to know what the Republican plan. The Republicans have had nothing. They've had nothing to bring to the table. The American people rejected them because they've had no new ideas. And other than criticizing President Obama, I've heard nothing fresh from your side. Tell me one thing you would do that you think would create jobs, because certainly the president hasn't had a partner to work with except people who wanted him out of office.
Let me just tell you one thing that we can do to
Gretchen, go ahead.
One thing that we can start doing to really get this economy going is we can get the government out of the way. Right now, our government has been spending at an amount that is...
So you don't want a jobs council. That means no jobs council.
Hang on. Now, hang on.
Okay.
Give me a second, Alan. But we have a government right now who is getting too involved in the economy. They are spending more money that is propping up the economy, crowding out the private sector, and not allowing the private sector to do its job. We need to cut back the number of regulations we have so businesses can create jobs.
So the president should do nothing.
Just look at the time that...
Okay.
The president needs to come to the table and be willing to talk to people.
You just said the government should do nothing.
Listen, guys.
The House Republicans have passed numerous jobs
I think
bills,
we agree
and
that
the president
7.9% is... Hang on. 7.9% is simply unacceptable. You both agree with that. The solution here is to figure a way out of it. Right now, we don't have one. Alan and Gretchen, thanks to both of you. 20 minutes past now.
Thank you.
Martha, what's next?